Welcome back to the Infinite Lifetime Sutra. I'm your host Angelina. So we'll continue the sutra today. Okay. So for the previous one, we stopped at the part about the Vajang Bichu. That means our Amitabha Buddha, when he was a Bodhisattva, he went on to request for the Buddha of his time to teach him about the different goodness or the greatness of all the other Buddha worlds. Okay, so we're going to continue this. OK，法藏文佛所说，皆悉笃现，皆悉笃见，其发无上殊胜之愿，于彼天人三恶国土出妙，思维究竟，编译其心，选择所欲，皆得大愿，精进求索，恭顺保持，修习功德，满足无劫，于彼20亿具之佛土，功德庄严之事，明了通达，如意佛刹所设佛果，超过于彼。Okay, so today we talk about this part. Okay, so when the Buddhas are all very compassionate. Okay, so when they have a request, a genuine request, okay, one that is earnest, one that is honest, right? If there is such a request to learn, the Buddhas will never forsake. Okay, for example, every time there is a saying, okay, that the Buddha will not forsake anyone in his within his kingdom. That means the entire universe actually. Okay, so anyone who has the intention to learn and to become a Buddha, the Buddhas, not just the Buddhas, actually is all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, they don't forsake. Okay, all of them will come forward and to help this person. That's why your intention of learning is very important. Okay, it's not like our mundane world learning. It's not like this world. Okay, in this world, there is something that is about the selfishness of human beings. Okay, the selfishness of human beings when you want to learn something. Okay, in the past, the teachers, they may reserve something. Okay, they will reserve so that the student does not surpass them. Okay, there is such kind of selfishness. And on the other hand, there can also be those who are genuinely thinking that if I teach you and you are able to surpass me, it means that I have done a good job. Okay, there are people like that. For the Buddhas, the ultimate thing about Buddha is that he or they, there are so many Buddhas out there already by now, they already know the ultimate truth, the entirety, everything about the universe, okay, everything. So to them, there is nothing else to gain. There is nothing beyond. There is nothing more to learn. Okay, so when they have reached that pinnacle, they do not need to be stingy anymore. They do not need to be selfish at all. Okay, so instead of being selfish, so they are willing to teach whoever that is willing to learn. Okay, give me a minute to adjust this. Yeah. All right. So when the Buddhas receive a request like that, okay, very often when you read all the sutras, okay, there will be those that come as humans, come here, and then they earnestly pray to the Buddha, please help me, and things like this, okay? Like, for example, the sutra that I'm working on for the translation right now, it is a sutra about longevity, okay? And it is dedicated to those, um, you know, a lot of beings, humans, right, they suffer a short lifespan. For example, stillbirths, okay, or maybe those who have been aborted when they're still in the mother's womb. Okay, this is short lifespan. And then there is also those who may have been born, but due to certain circumstances and their karma, they have their life shortened. Okay, so that sutra on longevity, it was said when there was one lady who went on forward to the Buddha at that time, and she was crying because her child died. And previously she also had abortion and things like this, and it was all related to a past karma. So that's why there anyone at all, okay, not just the sutra teaching you how to be a Buddha, okay? The Infinite Lifetime Sutra are for those who aspire to become Buddha within one single lifetime. Okay, that's why the Buddha has also shared this Infinite Lifetime Sutra, this talk, this Dharma talk, to benefit these people. But if let's say you said, no, I still want to enjoy the worldly life, I still want to, you know, have all kinds of blessings, the Buddha will also share his knowledge of how the world works, how the entire ecosystem of the karmic consequences, the cause and the effect, how they work, so that this person, when you go visit the Buddha and request for it, you get what you wish for. Okay, it's not that the Buddha don't want to teach this person the Infinite Life and Sutra. If possible, right? If possible, the Buddhas will want everyone to follow the Infinite Life and Sutra because this is the only sutra, right, that will deliver us to Western Pure Land, to Amitabha's Pure Land, and at Amitabha's Pure Land, right, you really within this lifetime itself, if you are delivered, you don't die. It is not death. Okay, you are migrated to Pure Land, and it's not a reincarnation to Pure Land. It's not. It's a migration. The vehicle that you travel in is the lotus flower. Okay. Um, you look at this. Okay, I don't know if I can see this. Okay, the Buddha statue, and on his hand is a flower, a lotus flower. This lotus flower is actually yours, right? The moment when you start believing and having that single faith, saying that I want to be reborn in Pure Land, I want to be with Amitabha Buddha, and then you chant Amitofo, Amitofo, Amitofo endlessly. The seed, your seed of Buddhahood is being planted in the prosperity pool. Okay, there is a pond there is a pool there, and your seed is being planted in that lotus pond. And then it will start to grow. If let's say there are those people who, halfway they give up, they just think that no, this path is too hard, I can't give up the worldly stuff. I just can't, I just can't leave my family and my lover, my beloved, my children, my parents, I can't, you don't have to physically leave them, but in your mind, you know that they are here, you appreciate them, and eventually one day, all these associations are temporary. You will still need to leave. If you hold on to them so dearly, right, you are not able to leave even if Amitabha appears right before you. Okay, so that's why Amitabha Buddha won't come. And if you were to stop the practice of Amitabha, of wishing to go to Pure Land, if you stop the practice entirely, the seed that you planted, your lotus flower that is blossoming will wither. Okay, it will wither. So the bodhisattvas up there at Pure Land itself, each time when they observe the pool, the pond, the lotus pond, they will feel a pity if let's say they see that your flower withers, right? Because it's not that they don't want you to come be with them. Okay, it's just that you gave up halfway, right? When we are in this world itself, a lot of times we have been talking about persistence, but persistence on the right things, right? But a lot of times many people they give up. Like for example, they do a business and then they give up, right? Due to many different circumstances, probably due to their karma as well. Okay, so nothing to be blamed. It's just that their karma, their karmic situation is not yet supporting them towards this vocation. Okay, And it's like, for example, a person may try very hard at work, okay, put in all the effort, put in everything, but still, um, he couldn't stay in the company, okay, due to many circumstances, a lot of probably being defamed, gaslighted, or even being false accusations and things like this. They tried, but then, due to all these things, they still need to leave the company, okay, with much regret to a lot, okay. But if you understand the karma, everything is temporary. It's just that your karmic condition at that moment. Okay, if let's say you're falsely accused and you are being pushed out of the company or things like this, accept it. Okay, know that potentially, okay, very likely in your past life or in this life itself, you knowingly or unknowingly did something to somebody that caused the same circumstances as you face currently. Okay, so you live with grace. Okay, no hard feelings. You don't need to be bothered about them. But know that all these people who were there at that moment, they only serve to help you establish that payback of the karmic event. Okay, so you don't have to hold a grudge against them. You don't have to hold anything against them. Okay, but if it was a good relation, okay, hold the gratitude. But if it was a bad um circumstances like false accusations, you let go. You don't need to be bothered because they have helped you pay off a bad debt from the past. Okay, so there is nothing gained, there is nothing lost. So you have to always remember that. Okay, it's just the entire thing in itself. Okay, it's a cycle. What is the cycle? This cycle of endless paying back of gratitude or paying back of um bad debt. Okay, if it's a bad karma, then it's actually paying back of a bad debt, and you don't need to um feel the need for retaliation. You don't need that, because if let's say people defame you or they have false accusations against you to push you out, know that first thing, you burn off your bad karma, and second thing, more importantly, they have used their good karma to create bad karma by falsely accusing you. In the next lifetime, they will need to pay back, even if you are not the one to execute it, okay, because you decided that, nah, I don't care, I just let it go. I paid it back, okay, fine, thank you very much. You just leave, okay? But in the next lifetime, they will still need to pay back, and you don't know how many other lifetimes that they need to pay back. Okay, but it could be different people, different actors, even those who are closest to them. Okay, so in all those things that are happening, okay, the Buddha will teach you, okay, what you need to learn, what you want to learn. Okay, when the Buddha was around, when Awasakya Muni Buddha was still around at maybe the Varanasi Deer Park or some other kingdoms gardens sharing the Dharma talk, anyone who goes up to him with an ardent desire for something, he will teach the proper Dharma for people to achieve something. Like for example, okay, a lot of people they may desire riches, okay, they may desire um, becoming wealthy, okay, but bear in mind how wealthy you are is actually determined firstly by your past karma. Okay, what you have accumulated in your past karma, your treasury box, I call it. Okay, your treasury box. If your treasury box is full, you don't need to do much, and it will flow back to you. If your treasury box is empty, no matter what you do, okay, in the worldly manners, it's hard to come by unless you know how to use the law of karma, okay? And how do you use the law of karma? You give to charity, okay? You sincerely give to charity day after day, bit after bit. Even if you say that I don't have money, okay, my salary is just enough for me to live by, you don't need to give much, okay. $1 is a charity, 10 cents is also a charity, okay. If you have more, you give more. If you don't have that much, you only have enough for yourself to spend, you can still spend that 10 cents, right? So Just start with a 10 cent. It's your sincerity that counts. Eventually, one day from your 10 cent, you can go into $1. Okay? Because your conditions will improve, right? And when your conditions improve, you just keep giving. Okay? Never stop giving if you want that kind of stability and prosperity in your life. Okay? That is using the law of karma, understanding the law of karma, and thus the way that you accumulate wealth is the right way. Okay? So, at the same time, right? Since for those who aspire to become Buddhas, the Sakyamuni Buddha, he knew that there are those who aspire to become Buddhas. So during the congregation itself, he teach you how to become a Buddha. But some people, when he look at their karmic condition, they are only able to reach as an arhat. So he teach them meditation at the time, right? Meditation to achieve the jhana, to be able to break the false beliefs, right? And they elevate from Sotapanna to Sakadagami to Anagami and to become an arhat. Okay, that is for those people. But there are also those people who has prayed to at least 1,000 Buddhas, okay, in the past lifetime. And so they have that ripened fruit for them to be able to accept the Infinite Lifetime Sutra as a true words by the Buddha. Okay, a lot of people, even though our Sakyamuni Buddha, he does not lie. Okay, all the things that he taught, he does not lie. It's just that human interpretations once again. Okay, whether you can believe it or not, that is the question. Okay, if you don't believe it, your karma is not strong enough in the past to support you to believe it, then you'll think that this Infinite Lifetime Sutra is is a lie, right? You can't possibly so easily get to Western Pure Land, okay, just by chanting Amitabha. There are people who believe that way because they don't think that it can anything can have a shortcut. They all but when you tell them about those worldly beliefs about shortcut ways to attain wealth, they will believe. Okay, their karma is not strong enough for them to achieve the ultimate, but they will believe that there are shortcut ways to earn to become rich. But when you tell them there are shortcut ways for you to become a Buddha within one lifetime, they don't believe it. Okay? Don't blame them. It's not that they're stupid. It's just that their karma is not supporting them into this understanding that this is actually the real truth. So when you encounter this video, okay, when you come across this video and you're able to listen to it from start to the end, okay, for the Infinite Lifetime Sutra, it means that you have in many different lifetimes in the past, you have also come in contact with numerous Buddhas. Okay, maybe you have also achieved that 1,000 Buddha as a minimum, and you want to become a Buddha one day, right? But it's just that lifetime after lifetime, you have not achieved because you have not ardently practiced. Now, in this lifetime, you have once again met with the Infinite Lifetime Sutra. Why aren't you holding on to it with your dear life to fulfill your wish of so many millenniums? Okay, of so many lifetimes. You want to become a Buddha? Hold on to it. Don't give up on it. Okay, have that persistence of a child learning how to walk. Okay, children are born without knowing how to walk, but they learn, they walk eventually, right? So have that kind of persistence until you are able to one day see Amitabha come to you and tell you that you are already gained admission into the his pure land. Okay, that is that time when you know that you have achieved your ultimate goal. Okay, so when you ask somebody, what is the meaning of all these things? Why are we here? Right? These are the questions that people like to ask about the universe. What is your goal? Right? So, what are the answers? Nobody know the answers. Okay? Unless nobody will have the correct answer unless there's only one correct answer to this question. We are here today to become a Buddha. we are given the opportunity to become human, to come in contact with the Infinite Lifetime Sutra, so that we can achieve Buddhahood within a single lifetime. That is the greatest achievement. You don't tell me about all those Fortune 500 companies or whatever achievement, like becoming the wealthiest person in the world. Those are mundane, those are useless, because the moment you die, you can't bring any money with you. But if you are able to achieve Pure Land, go to Amitabha's Pure Land, that is the end goal. Okay? Achievement within this lifetime itself. That is the end goal. Nothing else matters, actually. Okay? So, back to the sutra. Okay? So, when our Amitabha Buddha was still a Bodhisattva, he wanted to learn. So, he went to visit. Give me a moment, please. Sorry, there was a phone call just now. Okay, so we continue with what we were talking about earlier. Okay, yeah, about learning, right? So, our Amitabha Buddha, right, when he was still a Bodhisattva, he approached the Buddha of his time with that intention to learn. Okay, what was he learning? What did he say? He said, I want to become a Buddha like you, but I want my Buddha world to be better, a really good and conducive place for whoever going there to be able to learn, to be able to become a Buddha. Okay, so when he had that wish, of course the Buddha at his time, will see that he is sincere, and thus he will, just help him through that. There is no selfishness, there is no stinginess in the knowledge sharing. Okay, in fact, our Amitabha Buddha, when he was a Bodhisattva, then he didn't come from you know, a middle family or anything. He was also one of the real. He came from a prestigious royal family as well. So with him giving up his throne, giving up his kingdom and things like this, is actually quite similar to our Prince Siddhartha Gautama Buddha, right? So our prince born in a really beautiful kingdom, right? And if he had stayed as a worldly king, he could have conquered the entire world. But his conquering of the entire world is okay if his lifespan was like 80 years old. That is just how long he will conquer the world. But instead, he took on the path, he became a Buddha, and his teachings, right, have lasted for the past 2,500 years, and now is the second 2,500 years. Okay, although we say that now it is the end of the Dharma age, okay, it will still there will still be those who print the books, okay, who will still share the knowledge, who will still practice, and the only exception is that only at this ending age itself, achievements can only be achieved if, let's say, you follow the Infinite Lifetime Sutra and to go to Pure Land, Amitabha's Pure Land. Okay, so it is the chant of Amitabha. Only one thing. Okay, one simple thing. Because life gets harder and harder. Okay, during the Dharma ending age. Okay, at that time, Mara. Okay, the evil one. Mara had said before that he will infiltrate, because in the past, during our Siddhartha Gautama Buddha's time, monks are revered. Monks were revered, okay? Those who live the homely life, they have achievements. They become arhants, or they become, at least bodhisattvas or something, right? But Mara had already said, I'll infiltrate your temples, and my disciples, the evil ones, will don the robe and look exactly like you with shaven head and everything. And we will teach the wrong things to your students, to those who aspire Buddhahood, okay? So that they don't become a Buddha. They will stay in the cycle of the samsaric cycle and suffer for aeons without the hope of getting out of the cycle, okay? but the Buddha had already said, okay, towards this end of it, if in the past the rank would be from the top, it is the bhikkhus, and then come down to the bhikkhunis, and then the lay male disciples, male female disciples, lay female disciples. Now it is reversed. Okay, those with the achievements today, you see those with the achievements of becoming a migrant into Amitabha's Pure Land mostly are the very honest, very cute old aunties, okay, old grandmas. Okay, they let go of things. They just chant Amitabha, and then they are able to go to Western Pure Land. Okay, it is reversed. You look at monks now. Eventually, monks will not have any achievements. Okay, in fact, bogus monks. Okay, those who don the robes but they are not practicing, and in fact, they may be we'll call them bogus monks. Okay, they lie. They get money from the public. Okay, with you know, without any genuine practice, right? when they when they die, okay, when they die, a lot of them actually end up in hell. Okay, and in fact, all these bogus monks, there is a place where they will be chased by fierce dogs. Okay, dogs that are really huge, okay, like hounds, so with very sharp teeth. Okay, they will chase after these bogus monks. All right, this is actually part of their punishment based on their karma. Okay, so it's not that this place was purposely conjured to contain all these bogus monks. No, it is their karma that caused this to happen. Okay, remember Mara is also a being. Okay, Mara himself is is actually also within himself is Buddha. Okay, it's just that he is currently deluded. That's why he becomes the Mara. Okay, and he has three beautiful daughters. Okay, these three beautiful daughters have once tried to seduce Siddhartha Gautama Buddha when he was sitting in meditation under the Bodhi tree. Okay, so they try to keep people, beings, in the cycle of samsara. Okay, so that you continuously have all the lust, that anger, that greed, that hatred, right? They thrive that way. Okay, they think that when people are suffering that way, right, being unable to get out from the cycle of existence, that's how they thrive. They want everybody to be like them, okay, because they want to be the king. But eventually, one day, Mara himself, okay, that karma that brought him to become a Mara will also expire, and he will also one day become a Buddha, because inside everyone is a Buddha, including Mara himself. Okay, no exception. Everyone is included. Okay, so when after our Lord Amitabha Buddha made that wish to his Buddha teacher at that time, so the Buddha was very compassionate. He showed all the other Buddha worlds. Okay, not just tell. Okay, like right now I can only tell you, I cannot show you, right? He show and tell, displaying all the different Buddha worlds right before our Bodhisattva, okay, in front of him, for him to learn the good, the bad, how their Buddha worlds are, okay, how the entire system works in every single Buddha world, okay, what do they have, what do they not have, what are the good, what are the bad. So he kept learning it, okay, a lot of it, all of it, okay. Vairochana is not the only Buddha. Kashyapa is not only the Buddha. Our Lord Gautama Buddha is not the only Buddha. Amitabha is not the only Buddha. Before that, there were already so many other Buddhas in many other Buddha worlds. That's why until today, science is not able to tell us exactly how many stars are there in the entire universe. And how do we know that this universe is not the only universe, right? It could be just one of the many universes out there. Okay, you can't tell because science may have discovered, okay, one line is single dimension, flat is two dimension, and then with a shape is three dimension, time is fourth dimension, and then I think they've discovered like 13 dimensions now. Okay, but there are so many dimensions actually. In fact, in this room itself, where you sit watching this YouTube, okay, around you there is also an intertwine of other dimensions, although you don't see, and they probably don't see you as well, okay, or maybe they see you but they can't interact with you, okay. Maybe they are higher beings than us. They have more superpowers than us, right? Their clarity of their heart is clearer than yours. So that's why they may see us, but we cannot see them. Okay, so but they are there. Okay, in a different dimension, they do their stuff, we do our stuff. There is no clash at all. Okay, sometimes you may see some of the YouTube videos or whatever videos, captured footage in CCTV, some people just suddenly appearing out of nowhere and things like this, and then a lot of people will say that, oh, that is an edited video, and skeptics and things like this. But in truth, potentially, okay, once in a while when there is a glitch in the matrix, okay, when the time and the circumstances are right, the dimensions may actually meet. Okay, no doubt about that. Meditators, they will know. Okay, a lot of meditators, there are some people who say that they have the third eye, they can see things that are not within this world itself. Okay, or meditators, after they have meditated for a long time, they will be able to see things that we don't see with our mundane eyes as well. So when there are circumstances like this, okay, this can be achieved if your heart is clear, when your heart is calm. Okay, the layers, remember during the first few episodes of the Dharma talk, I keep talking about our heart being that little pulp, that seed of the onion, and all our knowledge and everything is like layers and layers of onions, and we have to peel them one by one, layers after layers. Peel off the layers, throw out our knowledge, discard everything that we have known about this world. Okay, discard all the knowledge that we have learned, discard all our experiences and everything, and then you only be able to see the ultimate truth. That is like that particular one single seed, that bulb itself. Okay, so they may have meditators. The main objective of meditation is to get a focus. Once your attention is well focused, once your focus is strong, okay, it gathers into one. And when you gather into one, you discard your layers. Okay, that's how you discard your layers. You just refocus into that one. And when you refocus that way, because you have discarded the layers, you may be able to see the different dimensions. Okay, but I'm not going to teach this in the Dharma talks because it may cause some to have that kind of superstition or that desire to just practice for the sake of seeing things, but without a guru. Okay, there is always a way for the things that when you don't get to see them, it does not mean that you are any lesser. It can be a blessing because some people, after they have seen it, they if they don't have that kind of knowledge, the religious knowledge, the religious understanding of it. Okay, if you are not equipped with the understanding of how karma works, okay, or the entire universe itself, you will see things and it may overwhelm. Okay, so that's why it is not encouraged, even if you desire to. Okay, unless you are with a good teacher, okay, a teacher who will teach you the right things, who will give you the basics, okay, let you have an understanding of the Dharma, let you have the continuous understanding of how the world works, the truth of the universe. Otherwise, don't. Okay, not seeing can be a blessing. So our Amitabha Buddha, he saw every single thing. Okay, everything. So he decided that he will choose only the good stuff. Okay, so when he chose the good stuff, okay, in the later part, I think the next episode, 2 episodes later, we will go into the 48 vows of Amitabha Buddha. Okay, so we will keep today's session short, 35 minutes. Okay, enough to keep you occupied. Alright, so we shall meet again in a future video. Bye bye. Stay safe.